What's up, guys? On the fly, the final score. We're doing our Monday morning update. Yeah, it's Monday morning. I know a lot of people are back at work, but yeah, I get Mondays off. So Tuesday is like my Monday. Um, um, I know we did our update yesterday. I'm gonna try to make this more common just to keep you guys up and just see if anybody's paying attention out there. Working on editing some interviews, some episodes we had in the can that will be coming out. Like I said, we're going to have a uh, new episode on the fly coming out today. Uh, we'll have the final score, the branch off of the final score, the CAC memories. Uh, we'll Our first episode of that hopefully will be Wednesday night. Um, and got an interview this morning that in about an hour and a half that I'm pretty excited about. But like I said, I don't like to let the cat out of the bag till it's done, and then I can share with you guys about it. Um, First of all, NBA Finals last night. The Heat even it up. I didn't watch it, but I'm looking at the recap of it. Heat rally late to beat Nuggets in Game Two, tied the series. It seems the coach for the Malone was pretty upset with uh, with the Nuggets' effort after blowing a fourth quarter lead. So there you go. There, you got to make it. How many? I don't know how many times. It hasn't been too often. You see sweeps in the NBA Finals, and I think I know there's been a few. I remember what was it? The Pistons back when they had Ben Wallace, Tayshaun Prince. Who else did they have? Was it Rip Hamilton? And what's the kid's name? Chauncey Billups. Yeah, they swept the Lakers that year, 4 games to none. Uh, and I haven't really kept up to tell you the truth, but yeah, it looks like maybe we'll have a interesting finals. I don't know, but you guys, you guys go right ahead and have at that because I won't. I'm not going to watch. I'm just sorry. I'm not going to watch it. Um, the Buffalo Bills make a big splash signing. Uh, they signed Leonard Floyd from the Rams to a 1 year deal. Big pass rusher. He was a former first round pick? Had been with the Rams for the last 3 seasons. What does this mean? I know that. Shoot, what's his name for the Bills got from the Rams? Come from the Broncos. The guy's from having a brain fart. Anyway, tore his ACL uh, last season, and he says he's going to be ready for the first game. And now it's going to kill me. I'm getting sorry, guys. I'm getting old. Um, Von Miller. So he says he's going to be ready for the first game, but is this kind of an insurance policy to give him? And I'm sure they'll use Floyd to give him a breather. Yeah, it's early, dude. I got an interview at 10 o'clock. Uh, so I'm pretty excited about that one. It's a uh, it's a name in the NFL not that people. It's an older guy. It's a name not really well known, but he may one of the iconic plays in Super Bowl history. One that you see, when they show all the plays from Super Bowls in the past. Um, that one comes up every year. And when you see the guy, you'll or hear the guy's name. You might not know by his name, but and I mean a legendary player too. He wasn't just resting on. That's not the only play that his legacy is built on. I'll put it that way. He had a great career in the NFL. But yeah, I just don't like to let the cat out of the bag till with some of these interviews till it's done. You know what I mean? And we're about an hour and a half away from that. Um, I hope everything's going good with you, Brian. I know Brian's wife Annie is down at Nashville right now. Get ready for CMA Fest with Brickshore Media. That will start on Thursday. If you guys are down around Nashville, check them out. And you can also stream them live. The stream link is on the Fly Facebook group, and I'll be posting that. I'll try to post that again the closer we get to that date. But yeah, guys, check them out. Make sure you if you can't be there, stream them and listen to these guys, man. Like Annie Noel, Flint, Wade, these guys that you're going to be seeing interviews with these guys coming up. Noel and Annie have already been on. Let me see. I'm trying to think if anybody else. I think they're the only two. Well, Justin Caleb has been on. So check these guys out. And as you see these interviews in the upcoming weeks, if you didn't see them live, you'll see them. They're going to be posted on the podcast and on my YouTube page. So check them out and make sure you subscribe to them on the social media and check out and follow them on Spotify or Apple, all that good stuff. But yeah, we will be talking more about that as we get closer to the date, which is 3 days away. Brian, you're going to be heading down there, I know. I'm sure you're pretty excited about that. All right. So what else is going on? We talk about wrestling up here, and there was an event back in the day when I used to watch wrestling. Oh man, I went, when I get into something, guys, and when it catches golf first, of course, you got your priorities straight. Yeah. When I can't go to sleep, I'll watch that golf. Insomnia. I'm sorry, guys. I've said it many times. That golf will put me to sleep. I watched a lot of wrestling back in the day. Back in the early 80s, or the mid 80s was when I got into it. And one of the events I loved the most that they stopped doing for a while, and now they're doing it to a certain extent, which is called the Crockett Cup. And it's in memory of Jim Crockett Sr., who was, of course, Crockett Promotions in Charlotte back in the day. I mean, you had the great acts there. That was what I watched mostly. I mean, I watched WWF back in the day when it was WWF, but Crockett was local, and I don't know, I was drawn to it more than I was the WWF back in the day. So they had it in for 3 years back when Crockett was going, and when WCW took over, Turner took over and bought them out. They didn't do it anymore, which I thought was a huge mistake because it was a great event, like a 2-day event. But yeah, they've started doing it over the past few years with a lot of these independent tag teams that get out there. I know actually one of the tag teams that I was privileged to be able to see in person at a Rage Wrestling event, the Heat Seekers, who are big up on the independent scene. They competed, unfortunately didn't make it out of the first round. But the event took place over the weekend, 2-day event. Like I said, believe it or not, if you followed it back in the day, Ricky Morton from the Rock and Roll Express was teaming up with his son into this, and got to the was it quarterfinals? I think quarterfinals. So they get to the quarterfinals, and I'm not, this is not, Ricky Morton is not wrestling and everybody's saying, gosh, he needs to hang it up. Ricky Morton is putting on a show, and I know Ricky Morton has got to be in his 60s now. Hold on, I'm gonna Google him right now, but it's just amazing that, yeah, hold on. Still got that same hair too. 66 years old, still doing it, still going strong. I mean, which the Rock and Roll Express have done like their retirement tour. So he's pretty much taking care of his son, Kerry, showing him the ropes going around with him now, teaming up with him. And Kerry's doing pretty good on his own. But yeah, the winners of the Crockett Cup, I think it was Mike Knox and Trevor Murdoch. I don't know if you guys remember Trevor Murdoch. He looked so much like Dick Murdoch. and I guess that's where he got his name from. But he's a pretty talented guy. He was uh, gosh, what was the guy's name that he was a tag team partner with back in the day? He's passed away now. Uh, they were multiple time tag team champions in WWF. Let's see. We'll find out for sure who it was because I don't like leaving that stuff out. Lance Cade. Lance Cade. Yeah. He they won the belts a couple of times, I believe. So Murdoch and Knox win the Crockett Cup, and I hope this will, I hope something like AEW would do something like a tag, not necessarily the Crockett Cup, but something to that, because I know WWE is not going to do it. Something to that effect, similar to it, that they could do a 2-day event, bring tag teams, because they're pretty good about bringing different tag teams from different organizations, or different wrestlers from different organizations in. Have a 2-day tournament just like this. They had, I forgot how many teams they had back in the day. So yeah, ECU baseball, East Carolina. You guys know I'm a big fan of ECU. ECU falls short yesterday. They were in an elimination game against Oklahoma yesterday, which they won 8-5, and then last night went up against Virginia again, who they lost to on Saturday night, and come up a little short, 8-3 there. So their season's over. Great season for ECU. I'm going to say this about college baseball. And I'm not crying because ECU is out. I said this before that. The seedings and the people that pick the host sites, when you've got 8 SEC teams hosting, and they're supposed to be the top dog at that region, and then I think 2 or 3 lost. Yeah, I'm not saying they're playing favorites, but then again, maybe I am. There's a lot of that selection committee is got a lot of their teams. The people that were on the selection committee were able to host, and that's not how it's supposed to go. Campbell, who had a great year and still having a great year, wasn't able to host. And Campbell's a small school in North Carolina, but Campbell should have been a host site. And you're supposed to reward the teams for their season, not because they don't have they're not well known. They're not an SEC school, so you're supposed to do that. But what do I know? We talked about that. Some sad news out of the NFL world. Norma Hunt, who is the mother of the CEO of the Kansas City Chiefs, passed away over the weekend at she was 85 years old. Of course, the Chiefs are on a roll right now, defending Super Bowl champions. But and it's a long time coming for the Chiefs, because there's a lot of years the Chiefs didn't have. You remember what Super Bowl was it? The first Super Bowl they were in. But 85 years old. She was the second wife of Lamar Hunt, and the only woman to attend every Super Bowl. Let's see. A statement released by the team Sunday night. No cause of death was given. She had 2 sons. Clark and Daniel was closely linked to the Chiefs franchise through her charitable work. Clark Hunt became the chairman of the franchise after his father's death and became a leading voice in NFL ownership. His statement was, Mom was steadfastly devoted to her family and fiercely passionate about her family sports teams. She was by her father Lamar's side every step of the way, from the merger of the AFL and the NFL to the formation of Major League Soccer, World Championship Tennis, the North American Soccer League, and the founding investment in the Chicago Bulls. She was the only person we knew who rivaled his love for sports. The two of them found such joy together whether at home or in stadium stands around the world. So yeah, we definitely send our condolences and our prayers for their family. As Noah Hunt passed away over the weekend at the age of 85. Damar Hamlin has, and I'm trying to pull this up now. He started a CPR tour where he's going to different places, and of course, everybody, unless you were under a rock, you know what happened to Damar Hamlin when he pretty much went in cardiac arrest. Well, he did go in cardiac arrest on the field in who was the game against the Bengals. Yeah, so he's going around now because these are, if it wasn't for CPR and the EMTs that knew what they were doing out there that night, he would have been gone. I mean, no doubt about it. And I commend him. I commend him for doing this, for, because he's kind of paying it forward. He's got a second chance at life, and he wants to make sure that other people don't go through the same thing that he did. He wants stuff in place to maybe save somebody else's life, and I'm all for it. I think it's great what he's doing. I know he took a lot of slack for, I think it was a coat he wore during the NFL draft, which wasn't the best choice. He didn't mean it as it was taken, but it wasn't the best choice out there for what after what he had been through. But yeah. Other NBA news, Ja Morant. They announced over the weekend the NBA is going to make a ruling on his punishment for what he did, waving a gun again. Yeah, I mean, exactly. Brian's, and I'm going to push Brian's comment up. Yeah, thank God for the new standards. They only recently started doing CPR for long lengths of time like they did on Hamlin. Exactly. I mean, if they hadn't had that, then who's to say one of those EMTs might have, gone the extra mile and said, look, I'm going to keep working and see if what I'm not going to give up on him yet. So, yeah, that's a good point. Thank God for the new standards. You're exactly right. Because Damar Hamlin might not be here right now to do these things if it wasn't for that. I know if it was my family or my loved one, I'd want them to work on them as long as I could till, of course, till it gets to a certain point. And it's just pointless then. But yeah. So Ja Morant throws a gun around again. Second time he's going to be punished, and I think this is going to be a big one. This is a guy that's got everything going for him. Could be like one of the faces of the young NBA. And after that first punishment, he was like, "Yeah, I get it. I made a mistake." Evidently, no, you did not get it. And these people, he was on Instagram Live with a friend, his friend. It was his friend's Instagram Live. Doing a live video and waving a gun around again. And people are like, what's the big deal there? Well, it's a big deal because no matter whether you want to or not, when you get in that position where kids are watching you, kids look up to you, you're like, I know Barkley said it a while back, I'm not your kid's role model. But guess what? Yes, you are. When you step foot in that spotlight, you become a role model, and kids try to copy what you do. I mean, whether it's on the court or off the court. Some kids thinking if Ja can wave a gun around, I'm going to be like him. I'm going to wave a gun around, and that's the last thing we need right now with the whole big thing about the guns. And granted, I'm not going to get political here, but we don't need anything else to start a gun debate. Note to these guys waving guns around. Only do it in Chicago so you can get Kim Fox to let you off the hook. Wow. Okay. But anyway, this is going to be a big punishment, and not only by the NBA. This guy is going to lose endorsements, and the endorsements are going to hurt him because there's always. I think Nike is one of them that's talking about dropping him. Yeah, so what seems so fun like that, it could it's going to really hurt your livelihood because you're going to be suspended by your job. You're going to be the extra money that would be coming in from endorsement deals is going to be gone too. So, it's time to grow up. Time to grow up and stop. Learn from your mistakes. If your boss, that's like if my boss told me, you can't. Let me see. I don't want you wearing that hat to work. It's not. That's not going to happen. And let's say I do it again, I get suspended for a day. Well, I'm supposed to learn from that. I'm supposed to learn, okay, I don't need to wear that hat again. Not go out and do it again. I mean, learn from your mistakes, guys. Learn from your mistakes. If I can tell you one thing, it's that. Albums released today, June the 5th. Let's see. Let's go through this list here. Elvis Presley back in 1962 releases Potluck. George Harrison in 1981, Somewhere in England. Blondie in 82, The Hunter. Also in 1982, Heart, Private Audition. Let's see. Paul McCartney in 89, Flowers in the Dirt. And here's a good one right here for you guys. Sarcasm coming. 1990, New Kids on the Block released Step by Step. 2001, Asia releases Aura. 2001, John Mayer releases Room for Squares. 2003, wow. Metallica releases Saint Anger. Wow. That's a great one right there, buddy. We could do a whole show. And maybe we will do a whole show on Saint Anger. 2007, Poison released Poisoned, which I think was a covers album. Poison, I guess they were saying this is Poison's version. These songs have been poisoned. If I remember correct, I wasn't that impressed. 2012, the Beach Boys put out That's Why God Made Radio. I'm not familiar with that one. I like the Beach Boys, but I'm not familiar with that. Birthdays. We got some local ones too. We're going to talk about in just a second. Let's get to the birthdays here. Boo, yeah. I'm sure that was for Saint Anger right there. I know Brian's a big fan of Saint Anger. So yesterday we didn't get our birthdays in yesterday. I want to say a special shout out to Debbie Future over there at Hometown Nutrition had a birthday yesterday. We'll probably be seeing her today. I'm sure my daughter will want to go. So yesterday, Freddie Fender, Before the Next Teardrop Falls. I don't know if you guys remember that song or not. He was born on this day yesterday in 1937. Michelle Phillips from the Mamas and Papas, and also what's that girl's name from Wilson Phillips? China Phillips. Her mom, born yesterday on 1944. El DeBarge. Remember, El DeBarge with Rhythm of the Night, the group, the R&B group. DeBarge. He was born on yesterday in 1961. Casey Chambers, born in 1976 yesterday. Now, June the 5th. So today, I got to throw a very special shout out to one of my compadres, a guy that's been on the show a few times. And Preston Quinn, professional wrestler, Preston Quinn. I mean, this guy is just a great guy, a lot of knowledge, not only in in wrestling, but sports, music. We've had him on. He may have been on 3 times as well. He may be one of the 3-timers now. But yeah, Preston, if you check out, he's got a store which does like retro stuff. You can find retro toys. You can find vinyl. You can find just about anything you think of retro, Star Wars, Transformers, stuff like that. You look on Facebook and check out Mullets and More. Mullets and More. It's in Northern Virginia, but check him out. And I think, I don't know for sure. I don't want to speak for him. He may ship out stuff if you order from through there, but I don't want to speak for him for sure. But yeah, Preston, they've got a good thing going with Mullets and More. And then the Mid Atlantic Territory Wrestling is a thing a project that he's been really in the middle of, and they're doing really good right now. So if you want to check out Preston, he's all over the place on social media. Check out his Facebook. Check out Mid Atlantic Territory Wrestling. Check out Mullets and More. He's got a lot of things going on, but just a great guy. I'm glad, working with Rage Wrestling. I'm glad I got to work because it's always been, like I said, I've watched wrestling since I was a kid, and to be able to work with some of the wrestlers because I do the filming, and to get to know these guys, some of these guys that, and I think out of all of them, this one he's the closest I've been to. But Preston's a great guy, and we wish him nothing but the best. Hope he has a great, happy birthday, and many more to come. So let's see. Today, Bill Hayes, born on this day in 1926, he did the Ballad of Davy Crockett. Let's see. Who is Michael? Not many up here that I recognize. Nico McBrain, the drummer for heavy metal band Iron Maiden, born on this day in 1954. Kenny G. He was had the hit song Songbird back in 1987. He was born on this day in 1956. Richard Butler, who's the vocals and frontman for the new Wave post-punk Psychedelic Furs. They did the Pretty in Pink song. Brian McKnight, R&B. I'm a big Brian McKnight fan. Back at One. Then did the Love Is song with Vanessa Williams. So many great songs Brian McKnight did. I'm a big Brian McKnight fan. Born on this day in 1969. Oh, boy. Mark Wahlberg. Marky Mark and the Fun Bunch. It's the Fun Bunch, right? Good Vibrations. Now a big-time actor. Born on this day in 1971. Says early member of New Kids. Maybe he had to be really early. I don't remember him being in the New Kids. Pete Wentz from Fall Out Boy, born on this day in 1979. Excuse me. And that's it for today. Yeah. So like I said, in about an hour, I'm going to get everything ready right now. In about an hour, I'll be doing an interview. Like I said, I don't like to let the cat out of the bag, but it's going to be a good one, I think. So this week, like I said, we've got this interview. Let's see, Tuesday. What have I got? Nothing going on till Wednesday. And the CAC memories with the members of the 1993 basketball tournament champions from the CAC, the Northeast Academy Eagles. We're going to have at least 3, maybe 4 members with us on that show, and that's going live. So we're going to watch the actual game. It's going to be a watch along, and we're going to talk about it as we go. And who knows what might come up. And hopefully this will be a sign of things to come. This will be the first of many. I've been in contact with guys I played against, some ladies that played back in the day in the CAC. Hopefully this will be a thing that we can do at least once a month, maybe more. It just depends on how the situation goes. Before I go though, album challenge. I'm still listening to the Guns N' Roses Super Deluxe, and I'm nearing the end of that, which that's been Billy Joel live at Yankee Stadium. I'm getting close to the end of that. Finished Queensryche, Digital Noise Alliance, which is a great album. They do a cover of Billy Idol's Rebel Yell at the end. It's pretty interesting. But Todd La Torre, he's got that and I don't want to sound like I don't like him, but he's got more of the Jeff Tate sound in this album, in my opinion. I know some people probably don't agree with that. Sammy Hagar and the Circle, Crazy Times, which was a good album. And if I just posted on the Facebook, on the Fly Facebook group and on Twitter, Father Time, the acoustic version at the end, the demo at number 12, the last song of the album, great song. Feed Your Head, another great song with this album. Check that album out, guys. I'm a big Sammy fan. He does a great job. He's still got the pipes in his 70s. I'm also on Dierks Bentley Gravel and Gold album, and then I'll be starting Nickel Creek Celebrants in just a few. But yeah, that's what we got going on now. Like I said, anytime you guys have an album to suggest me to put on my list, do that. I like to listen to a lot of different stuff. I haven't tried jazz or anything like that. So, if you guys know, if you're a jazz fan, know a good jazz album that you think I might enjoy, send it to me. I'll give it a try. I always give it a try. But, yeah, that's pretty much it. You guys go check us out on our YouTube channel. Subscribe. Give us a 5-star review on Apple, Spotify, wherever you listen to podcasts at. Give us a 5-star review. And like I said, guys, we're going to try to do these updates more often now. I can't promise it'll be a daily thing because you probably will get tired of me if I'm here every day. But yeah, I enjoy coming in here and getting the comments. Thanks, Brian, for stopping by as always. Like I said, guys, check out the CMA Fest starting Thursday, the Brickshore Media Group. And we've got the schedules and we've got the streaming link on the On the Fly Facebook group. So check it out there, and I'll publish it to my On the Fly regular Facebook page. So that's going to do it for right now. Maybe we'll be back later on, let you know how the interview went. And but kind of a busy day today, but you guys have a great day, and we'll see you next time on The Fly and on the Final Score.